Hello and welcome to all who are studying A Course in Miracles. Today our lesson is 193. So let us get straight into our lesson. All things are lessons God would have me learn. God does not know of learning, yet his will extends to what he does not understand, in that he wills the happiness his Son inherited of him be undisturbed, eternal, and forever gaining scope, eternally expanding in the joy of full creation, and eternally open and wholly limitless in him. That is his will, and thus his will provides the means to guarantee that it is done. God sees no contradictions, yet his Son believes he sees them. Thus he has a need for one who can correct his erring sight and give him vision that will lead him back to where perception ceases. God does not perceive at all, yet it is he who gives the means by which perception is made true and beautiful enough to let the light of heaven shine upon it. It is he who answers what his Son would contradict and keeps his sinlessness forever safe. So just reading those two paragraphs to me, when it's saying God does not perceive, God is an energy. It's not some being. It's a word we've given something. So drop the meaning there if it's giving you any kind of negative or whatever feeling you get with that word. It's like an all-encompassing energy that is always pulling us towards our truth. You know, it wants us to come back to it and flow with it rather than pull off and be separate. And our lesson of the day, all things are lessons God would have me learn. It's all a simple thing. It is always about pulling us back to our true energy. So if you can think of the world as energy rather than form, it shifts things. You know, it's like you look at things and you create meanings, you have a separate division, and it gets very complicated in the mind because everything has to seem to fall into a certain category before you can be at peace. Whereas with thinking of everything as energy, it's like, okay, how am I interacting with this energy right now? Am I interacting with positivity, so I'm getting closer to my light, or am I acting with a darker kind of, pull away? So I'm going further and further into the darkness rather than going towards the light. Because that's kind of what forgiveness is. Forgiving is releasing yourself from the meanings, the darkness, to get towards the light of who you are. These are the lessons God would have you learn. His will reflects them all, and they reflect his loving kindness to the Son he loves. Each lesson has a central thought, the same in all of them. The form alone is changed with different circumstances and events, with different characters and different themes, apparent but not real. They are the same in fundamental content. It is this: forgive and you will see this differently. Certain it is that all distress does not appear to be but unforgiveness, yet that is the content underneath the form. It is this sameness which means learning sure, because the lesson is so simple that it cannot be rejected in the end. No one can hide forever from a truth so very obvious that it appears in countless forms and yet is recognized as easily in all of them, if one but wants to see the simple lesson there. So remember, forgive and you will see this differently. That's what when you're forgiving, that's what you're doing, in any situation throughout your day to day, because it's the only time we can change is it right now. So you're either going to be thinking about things in your past, so if you can forgive if your mind's wandering there, or if it's going to the future, forgive, or if you're in the present moment and you're having a grievance about something, forgive. But it's saying here it doesn't always come in a form so easily, that we can say I need to forgive for that. It comes in different ways, and forgiving is that misperception. So when you say forgive, I'm seeing it through the wrong mind. That's what you want to do. You want to change your perception of it. So forgive and you will see this differently. These are the words the Holy Spirit speaks in all your tribulations, all your pain, all suffering regardless of its form. These are the words with which temptation ends and guilt abandoned is revered no more. These are the words which end the dream of sin and rid the mind of fear. These are the words by which salvation comes to all the world. Shall we not learn to say these words when we are tempted to believe that pain is real and death becomes our choice instead of life? Shall we not learn to say these words when we have understood their power to release all minds from bondage? These are the words which give you power over all events that seem to have been given power over you. You see them rightly when you hold these words in full awareness, and do not forget these words apply to everything you see or any brother or sister looks upon amiss. Or everything you see or any brother or sister looks upon amiss. So yeah, you've got to keep forgiving, and you've got to get sort of comfortable with forgiveness. You've got to get to a place where forgiveness is your motto, almost. That's your aim, is to just remember to forgive, let it go. Think of it as a beautiful energy that's bringing light when you do that. It's like I'm bringing light into my life and the other person's. Because as we separate, we have our grievances against each other, we're going further and further into that dark world. So bring yourself back to the light by using forgiveness, the word forgiveness, the magic behind it. That's the key. How can you tell when you are seeing something wrong or someone else is failing to perceive the lesson he should learn? Does pain seem real in the perception? If it does, be sure the lesson is not learned, and there remains an unforgiveness hiding in the mind that sees the pain through eyes the mind directs. God would not have you suffer thus. He would help you forgive yourself. His Son does not remember who he is, and God would have him not forget his love and all the gifts his love brings with it. Would you now renounce your own salvation? Would you fail to learn the simple lessons heaven's teacher sets before you, that all pain may disappear and God may be remembered by his son or daughter, All things are lessons God would have you learn. He would not leave an unforgiving thought without correction, nor one thorn or nail to hurt his holy daughter or son in any way. He would ensure his holy rest remain untroubled and serene, without a care in an eternal home which cares for him or her, and he would have all tears be wiped away, with none remaining yet unshed, and none but waiting there, appointed time to fall. For God has willed that laughter should replace each one, and that his son or daughter be free again. We will attempt today to overcome 1,000 seeming obstacles to peace in just one day. Let mercy come to you more quickly. Do not try to hold it off another day, another minute, or another instant. Time was made for this. Use it today for what its purpose is. Morning and night devote what time you can to serve its proper aim, and do not let the time be less than meets your deepest need. Give all you can and give a little more, for now we would arise in haste and go unto our Father's house. We have been gone too long, and we would linger here no more. And as we practice, let us think about all things we save to settle by ourselves and kept apart from healing. Let us give them all to him who knows the way to look upon them so that they will disappear. Truth is his message, truth his teaching is. His are the lessons God would have us learn. Each hour spend a little time today and in the days to come in practicing the lesson in forgiveness in the form established for the day, and try to give it application to the happenings the hour brought, so that the next hour is free of the one before. The chains of time are easily unloosened in this way. Let no 1 hour cast its shadow on the one that follows, And when that one goes, let everything that happened in its course go with it. Thus will you remain unbound in peace, eternal in the world of time. So it's asking there for us to remember on the hour, as each hour passes, what did I have a grievance in the previous hour? Now let me let that go, so that you're starting every hour afresh with a new mind and a new perspective. Because you want to see things differently, and by forgiving, that's what you're doing. You're releasing your current perception of the situation. You feel a certain way, forgive the way I feel. Forgive the way I look at that person. Forgive the way I attack myself. Forgive the way I see the world. Forgive the way I see politics. Forgive the way I see whatever it is. I want to see it differently. I want to see the truth. And you can recall the past hour. Oh, in that hour, yeah, I was da-da-da-da about work. I was da-da-da-da about my relationship. I was da-da-da-da about my life, my career, whatever it is. I release that. I forgive. I move forward in the next hour. Try that today. So this is the lesson God would have you learn. There is a way to look on everything that lets it be to you another step to Him and to salvation of the world. To all that speaks of terror, answer thus: I will forgive, and this will disappear. To every apprehension, every care, and every form of suffering, repeat these self-same words, and then you hold the key that opens heaven's gate and brings the love of God the Father down to earth at last, to raise it up to heaven. God will take this final step Himself. Do not deny the little steps He asks you to take of Him. Okay, so there we go. Our lesson is, all things are lessons God would have me learn. So it's kind of like we're learning in every situation. There's somewhere to forgive. There's somewhere to let it go. That we're just learning. Whatever it is that's holding us here, it's a learning, it's a gift to shift us back. And we don't have to analyse or overcomplicate what that lesson is that we need to learn here so that I can forgive. Just put the words forgiveness on it and let it go. Keep it simple. Don't make things too difficult. Because sometimes you can't. You think, oh, I need to get the answer. How can I get there? Where can I go? Just do the simple thing of letting go, of saying, I forgive myself, I forgive others, I forgive the world, whatever it is, and you'll see it differently. Things will start disappearing. Light will start coming towards you, and as you are forgiven, it's like you're allowing that magnetizing light to come together with you. It's like your light inside is drawing in the all-encompassing light, so that then it can be enveloped in everything around in the world. So we're expanding. We're expanding our light and the light everywhere. That's the beauty of it. The more of us that go home to the light, the more the light will expand and just bring so much light into the world. So that's the aim of our day. A very important one. If you want to find peace in your heart, love in your heart, and all of these things that you know are there, that you've done in so many gradual ways and going through the lessons, then keep going with this. Keep forgiving. Keep just sending the love, All of these are lessons that God would have you learn, Source would have you learn, love would have you learn. And releasing those is where you're going to get your peace. Don't let that mind get so bound up with thinking crazy, unimportant, meaningless thoughts. Let them all go so you can move forward in a beautiful way. So that is our lesson of the day. Enjoy it, and we will be back again. I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.